Simon! Be still!
Always free with
That's why mine are always black.
There we go.
Hereafter, so that we remember our bonds, we shall always come together in a circle.
It's not so much chill. We hit so many different topics and jump all over.
To hear and tell of deeds good and brave.
You went full cookie puss.
Hey, I'll just look.
I will build a round table where this fellowship shall meet.
That's why it's the round table. We're all equals here.
Well, at least I'm not pulling a rickshaw.
Remember it well then, this night, so that in the years ahead, you can say, I was there that night.
There's a lot of shots being fired.
And it sounded like somebody was sucking down their microphone like a slack jaw bundle of sticks.
Whoa, there's no gay frogs here.
Good and evil, there never is one without the other. Where hides evil then in my kingdom? Always where you never expect it.
It passes through Antifa ranks. It smells like cat piss and kitty litter.
Yeah.
Impeccably.
I know a few YouTubers who smell like that.
And look upon this moment. Savory! Rejoice with great gladness!
And welcome to the round table.
For it is the doom of men that they forget.
I swear, every time I see that, I want to give Chris a rickshaw for Christmas.
What? Oh, man. Yeah, everybody, welcome to the Sunday Roundtable. I am Vinnieart, creator of Shadow of the Kraken, Through the Woods, City of Venus, a bunch of great projects. City of Venus 2 is in the works, by the way. Yeah, I thought I'd get a little bit more intro stuff in there. Formerly Designer McFarlane Toys. Again, for the new people, people who haven't really been on my channel before. Yeah, so there is some info for you. Tonight we're going to be talking about more catastrophes that Marvel is doing. I did see the Spiderverse. No, I did not pay for it. No money was exchanged to Marvel and Sony, Disney. Not supporting that. I happen to see it in another means. But oh my God, they just don't stop with the horse shit with these kind of films and the product and what they're putting out. But yeah, we'll get into detail with some of that stuff. I am waiting for another guest who I did see this thing with, and yeah, once he's in there, we'll cover it more. Hopefully, he'll be able to join tonight. But let me say a quick hello to my great friends here. We got Adega Outlaw is in the house. How you doing, Doc?
Hello. Not too bad at all. Glad to be here. Thanks for inviting, as always.
I'm glad you're doing well. I know you had fun this weekend. You were shooting up some things, and that's pretty awesome.
I showed you my score.
Yeah, man. Congrats on that. Dude, 4 hours, 20 minutes. 4:20. Look at that. We got my good friend, the legend, Chris Fisk. We got in the house. How you doing, Chris?
Hey, yeah. Oh, wow. I think I'm on all of about maybe 5 hours of sleep. 4 hours, maybe. Yeah, Angela.
But it was good 5 hours.
Yeah. I didn't go to bed till like noon and woke up at 7. So.
Damn. Well, yeah, Draven, yeah, welcome as well. Dude, last night was insane.
Yeah, it was.
We do a Mario Kart, and then afterwards,
those damn dirty Yoshis just ruined it for everyone.
I know, right?
Right. We'll blame that on Kyle and Runner. Yeah, Kai came in, and that was fun. Holy crap. Good times. That's for damn sure. I don't know where our other Jewish friends are, but they have links, and they're supposed to come in here. One in particular. He knocks people over when he turns his head. I'm just saying. No, we had a good time though. And of course we have the fantastic, the lovely, the awesome Trina is in the house as well. Hey, this is my sister from another mister. How you doing, Trina?
I'm well, happy to be here. Hope you all have had a great weekend, and yeah, looking forward to a great stream.
Hell yeah. And let me say a quick hello to the chat before we dive into everything. Toy Mafia was the first one in here tonight. Hell, thank you for being in here. We got Tree Rock Creations. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about some stuff. Yeah. It's but my last stream I had to delete, by the way. I had the link up on Rumble, so if you want to see it, it's on Rumble. That's you can find it through Twitter. One of the first things they put out there, so go check it out. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just getting aggravated with everything lately, but government, entertainment, I don't know what the fuck's going on. But anyway, Superfan, you got a link as well if you want to pop in. Brutal, I also sent you one. Let's see. Yeah, Tina Bojan can't make it in tonight, but I know she got work tomorrow early. So yeah, sending good vibes out to her. She did see the film as well, and she had some takes on it, and not a bad take, I gotta say. Because I'll say one thing about that movie. Visually, it is still very nice the way they did it. Like the animation's great. You know, a lot of really cool visuals in general, but they took a lot directly from the comics. Like, you know, that they painstakingly went through comic books to find certain poses, and you see that throughout the movie, which I'll give them a tip of the hat on that. Story wise, it's shit. Miles, I was cool with them in the first movie. I really liked the first movie. But seeing the trailer on this one, I really had no intentions on seeing it. Someone had a link and asked, "You want to see it?" So I'm like, "Oh, I guess, whatever." And yeah, we watched it together on that. And yeah, I hate Miles again. This movie made me hate him again. It's plain and simple. The writing is so piss poor. But yeah, we'll break it all down. We'll break it down. Lion Ratton's in the house. We got Blue Samurai as well, man. What's up, fellas? If either one of you want to pop in, I believe I dropped you a link as well. So, yeah, being generous today with a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, because we got excellent people that are on panel and in the chat. Carl's in the house. What's up, Carl? Always awesome seeing. Let's see. Missed anyone else here? Zombie Box Reviews. Great seeing you. Oh, we got Brutal Morningwood right here. What's up, buddy?
Oh, you know me. Don't ask.
Oh shit. Sounds like you've been having a similar week as me. Yeah, it's been crazy, but yeah, we'll get into it. Yeah, Blue Samurai, he says, yeah, horse shit. You know that it came from a horse and it's shit. Well, yeah, Marvel is shit, Disney is shit, Sony is shit. Amy Pascal, she proved that she is a horrible producer. You could tell that she stepped in and made a whole bunch of demands for this film. Because it's the same shit you see in the Spider-Man movies. There are scenes where it makes zero sense why he has no mask on. And it's like, you need to see his face. You need to know that it's a black boy. It's like, their little notes. And again, I don't care what color anyway. I really don't give a shit. The thing is, he's not Peter Parker. He's not Spider-Man. This movie was strange on that level as well, what they did. They kind of went against the hero tropes and like what you would expect out of a hero. Like, they kind of went ass backwards with it. One of the messages in the movie is don't do the right thing.
What?
For some reason. Yeah. Oh yeah. It makes zero fucking sense when you hear the Spider-Man 2099 giving his take on things, and that he had insight onto how Miles even became Spider-Man. Which again, it's like it wasn't supposed to happen, and the events that Miles did affected all of it and is destroying worlds. Because it's so stupid what they did, so stupid. So you have a so-so character who's a carbon copy of Peter, but then you play with these other aspects that makes no sense whatsoever. It's like he's in search of a family, even though he has a family. So it's like it contradicts itself throughout the movie. The storylines and stuff that they did with Gwen, basically they kind of sued her all over the place. Although she does screw up, she screws up in a big way. She's blamed for a couple of things, but at the same time, like when she's doing her Spider-Woman shit, it's like, okay, it's like almost like she could almost do no wrong. Miles does get like cucked throughout the movie as well. The whole thing with the spot makes no fucking sense. I don't know what they were looking for and what they did there, but very strange shit. But like I said, we'll get more into the Spider-Man aspect of it in a minute. Let's.
That just shows you where Jamie Foxx started having his stroke, because he was like, "You ain't black," to Spider-Man when he knew who Spider-Man was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, we covered that on Friday as well.
Yeah.
He's not doing so well, and there are a lot of lies put out there, which is funny. It's like, why are they hiding these things? Why aren't they telling?
Well,
the
because
public
then
what's
it will
really going
affect the bottom
Look
line
bad
of
on the
pharmaceutical
stand.
companies.
Mm-hmm. Hit the nail on the head there, Chris.
Follow
for
the
sure.
money.
Well, that's for sure. You
Yeah.
know, and I'm pretty sure the family was threatened.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that, because it doesn't make any sense. Because now
Or
that everything's
bribed.
out there, no one came out. Him and his family did not make any statements. They didn't make any videos. They didn't put any tweets out. And it's been happening since what, Friday or Thursday night. They said what happened to Jamie, that it looks like he's blind and partially paralyzed.
Yeah,
And
I
that
lost
he
a
never-
family member to it.
Huh?
I lost a family member to it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Almost everyone has, you know.
Yeah.
And other horrible things. So
But
yeah,
don't,
it's kind
don't
of
worry. Now that the commercials say it's mild to moderate symptoms, you know you're gonna be right. Couple months ago, you were gonna turn to liquid and
Yeah.
die.
Mhm.
you know?
Immolate in the street.
Right, but now it's mild to moderate. You know, you'll be okay.
And
Well,
this is
there's
all
some-
less than a decade too, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of different stories coming out with all that shit, and including even more crazy shit that's going on and what's kind of being put into. Can't talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
We'll say foods and medicine, similar things, because they're finding a way for the people who didn't want to get it to give it to them as well.
Put it in your
And
corn.
it's more of an accumulation now of these foreign materials. Yeah. So, do we have a roaming guinea pig back there? I think I see someone.
It might be possible that you have a wild guinea pig sitting in the back ready to cause some havoc and start some trouble. What's going on, fellas? How you all doing?
What's up, brother? Yeah, we're
Hey.
gonna start hitting some more of the downfall of Marvel and Disney and all that stuff. And
Well, you
before
know, right now I've been working on something crazy, Vinny. We're down here in Florida working on a weather controlling device, and we're sending big storms all over the place. We're thinking about sending a few up to DC. We're going to see how that works later on.
And that's,
Nice.
and that's why I like you guys, because I'm both guinea and pig.
Speaking of guineas, Marvel is taking out the one Italian superhero that they have. They're taking him off the board. No more Punisher. Apparently, they're claiming that the character is attached to right-wing nut job, blah, 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 fill in the blank bullshit. The character's been around for like 40 to 50 years, but no, that doesn't matter anymore. He needs to be removed from the board. So Marvel's stepping in there to make sure of it. They got rid of his weapons. They got rid of his skull not too long ago. They made him the leader of the Hand, I believe. Makes no sense what the hell they did to this character. He's gone through so many horrible incarnations. They've killed him. They brought him back as Frankenstein. They're cucking him left, right, and
Cosmic
center.
Ghost Rider.
Cosmic Ghost. Oh, dude, there's so much stupid shit that they did to this character.
It's merciful, dude. At this point, it's euthanasia. Like, I'm almost glad that he's gone, so that they can't like violate and desecrate the character any more than like what they're doing to the other characters. And it leaves us opportunity for indies to create the disciplinarian. It's the same character.
Don't worry, pretty soon he'll be Miles Morales' little sister. You know.
They give him pigtails and dye his skin.
We here at Disney have full plans to desecrate the courts of the Punisher. Once we get him out of here, we're going to go back and we're going to bring him back as a fairy with a rainbow-colored tutu. Get ready, y'all. It's coming.
Or didn't they make him gay at one point too?
You know what they did do? I don't know if Vinny remembers this one. This is not the first time that they've killed off Frank Castle. They killed him off once before in another separate storyline, and they brought him back as a Franking Castle.
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
that's what.
He didn't die.
Yeah.
He's not dead. He's
not dead. And
his wife died and got resurrected, came back, and then scolded him about how much of an asshole he is. Then divorced him, and then he basically said, "My war is over. My purpose for this war is no more," and he just walks off into the sunset.
Stop it.
I'm surprised.
No, that's
I'm
really
surprised they didn't make him Minecraft himself after that, because it seems like the thing to do over at Marvel and Disney at this point.
Well, you know what? If it's just the wife, and don't take this the wrong way, because I'm sure some people might get offended. Is that enough to walk away? What about the kids?
I think they all got resurrected.
Okay.
You're a terrible father. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was like this big, like the wife is the one that was in the comic cells that I saw, or the paneling.
Okay.
But I believe it was his family got resurrected, and they resented him being an asshole, essentially. And they, it's the typical dumb white man thing that we see in all of our media now.
Did they tell him he was a deadbeat dad because he didn't pay undead child support?
No, it was just, you're a terrible person and you're awful and I don't love you anymore. Goodbye. And he's like, okay, I'm done. And he just walks off into the sunset. And it was
Nelson, Chris is talking about the Punisher,
Twitter.
not you. We love you, brother. Yeah, I hope you have a great night, man. Yeah, catch us in the replay. But sorry, Trina, you were saying?
I was just asking, what year did they do this to him? Okay, so all right. So can you imagine if Stan Lee was still around?
Yeah,
Stan wouldn't have put up with this shit. They tried to smear him, man.
He didn't. He lost his say a long time ago. They were basically just paying him like $1 million a year just to show up at places and things and still be like, Stan is still like part of Marvel. They
sign this, monkey.
Well, hold on. Well, because here's the thing: a lot of people may not know. When they signed their original deals and shit for like the movies, first of all, they were selling off the rights to these characters basically, and it was a licensing thing, and that's why Fox had gotten X-Men. Spider-Man went to Sony. They were going to start even auctioning off characters, believe it or not. And Stan, he filed for Chapter 11, I think, or something. He separated himself from the company basically, and they fucking hated him. But those cameos and stuff they started to do, it was before the MCU and all that bullshit. Like he was making those appearances like in Spider-Man and stuff. When they brought him on there, it's because for the directors and shit, like they wanted him there. The writers wanted him there, and he was surprised how much respect he was getting because he thought everybody hated him. He thought that Marvel was kind of done for, and he was just excited to see that movies were starting to get made of these characters finally.
I mean, can you really blame him though at that point? I mean, because he sunk a lot of money in when he'd actually taken over Timely Comics, so it was just getting ready to turn into Marvel. I mean, he sunk a lot of his own time and money into that venture to actually get it under his control. And then as everything starts falling apart and you start having problems with the economy and comic books start going on the do not buy list pretty much at that time. Yeah. What was he supposed to do? I mean, was he supposed to just sit there and sink with the ship? I mean, he built this wonderful franchise up. The economy took a turn for the worse. Comic books suffered. So what is he supposed to say to his kids that he was trying to build a nest egg for? Sorry, kids. I've got to sink everything back into the company because the economy went to shit. Like, how is that fair to him?
Right. Well, here's another point too. Like some person, and I know the full story with all this stuff too. Stan, he did have an obsession, and he wanted to have the movie part of it. Like I understand, he did do this stuff, but he did it in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s a little bit. But that towards the middle to end of the 90s, like it was already completely falling apart. He had his problems. Marvel was off the stock market as well. Their ticker was off. A lot of people don't seem to remember or forgot completely. They were going under. When I was working at McFarlane and there were talks of them auctioning off their characters, Todd almost bought Venom and Wolverine. He came very, very close, believe it or not. Wow. He almost got those characters. And I don't understand. Like, wouldn't you want to Spider-Man as well, but he was too cheap and it didn't get to that point. They landed the movie deals first, and that's what kind of saved them. But Stan was treated like shit. He was treated like absolute shit. And it's just what was happening with the movies as they were getting, like Spider-Man broke $1 billion and one of the first ones to do it. Then everything kind of changed. Then they wanted Stan as the spokesperson for Marvel again. And that's when they started giving him like $1 million a year. And then they put him on the convention circuit, and it didn't stop until pretty much the end. And at that point, they were literally taking his blood and putting it into pens and shit for signatures. I shit you not.
God.
Horrible, evil companies were doing that, and there was some legal stuff that happened with that as well. And it's stuff that he was unaware of. The nurse in the nursing home and all that crap, they were taking it from him. They were basically, literally, like draining him dry, so that they could cut these other deals. They were robbing him. They bought cars, houses, and that's when there was a major lawsuit with the family and stuff too, because they kept his daughter away from him. There's some really horrible shit. His ending was terrible.
Wow.
But,
Holy shit.
Oh yeah, man. And it's a lot of shit that like people look the other way, or the business doesn't really talk about that crap. Because if you work for the big two, you don't talk about these things. It's like, oh please. People should be more aware what the fuck happened, And
speaking of things that people should be aware of and be able to say something about, Vinny. I mean, shit like this with YouTube. So Gap After Dark had his whole channel nuke because of something. It could have been something as simple as a name. It could have been something simple as one single video. Like YouTube has been on the warpath again lately with their ridiculous nonsense, and you really got to almost got to be on pins and needles with them anymore. And this is why usually I stay away from anything that's like pop culture and shit like that, because I know my mouth that I'm going to wind up going off and saying a bunch of shit. It's definitely going to get me nuked, not only from the channel I have currently, but probably every other iteration moving forward. Yeah. Knowing YouTube, because they already despise me as it is. So if you do create a new one, Gap, be sure to let everybody know. We'll help try to get you back to where you were.
Yeah, man, dude, that sucks, and I feel it. I feel you. I ran into some troubles with YouTube as well. If you guys do feel like sending me anything, if you notice the super chat button don't work anymore. So if you want to send something, please send it over to my PayPal. It's at Vinnieart or my full name, and you'll Vinnie Tartamella.
Oh, demonetized?
Pretty much, and I gotta have to fight them at the end of the month. Yeah, it's again more bullshit.
I mean, who have they hit recently? They hit ETEP, they hit you, and I know there was a couple other people that I was talking to that hit just recently.
Yeah, well, this is the thing too. It's funny because now they said like you could mention a certain election and blah blah blah. Yeah, they're changing policies because what they're going to do is once you do mention this shit, now you have it in your live videos or whatever it is, live streams or your videos. And later they're going to move the goalposts again. Then they're going to go back in, and a bot will find that stuff and be like, "Oh, well, you said this, and you're wrong, and now we're going to hit you for it."
Yeah,
this is how they operate.
You'll be making it easier for them to hit your channel.
Yep.
Well, it's what happened to me on Facebook, dude. On Facebook, I shared my buddy Bobby's video of him and his wife at a certain building on January, and they were pointing out some of the stuff the media was lying about. And they're like, we're standing right here. What is going, all that shit. I share the video. I get banned for 24 hours. They're like, you need to remove this video. I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll remove the shared video or whatever. And then when I tried to log back in, it said, oh, we found all this other stuff that violates our whatever it is, our, safety and community standards or whatever. Your account has been officially deleted.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, they just retro nailed me, and like the shit that they found was like 5-10 years old.
Yeah, that's nuts.
It's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. But that's what they want to do. They want to police us more, So it's like shut up, monkeys, and just consume product, and ask for more product. It's getting back to that bullshit, and that's why I'm tired of everyone who they baby them or they comply with this stuff. Like, again, I know I've taken shots at big YouTube channels, but it's the same bullshit. Because what are they doing? They're taking that money, they're giving it back to these corporations who hate them. You know, I ain't paid for this shit. I saw it and someone asked me, like, I have a link, want to see it? I'm like, I guess, whatever. And,
well, you know, Vinny, this is part of the reason why I changed what I say sometimes at the outro of shows. So it used to be, you know, don't let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not watch, because your silence gives consent. I've actually changed that now. And from now on, moving forward, is never let anybody tell you what you can or can't say, what you should or should not think, because your compliance and your silence gives consent. Because really, that's where we're at right now. It's too many people. It's not even so much that they're being silent. They're complying along with this stuff. And these corporations and these businesses are getting out of control with the kind of stuff that they're pushing on everybody else. It really is absurd. And the more you just sit there and you don't say anything, you are being compliant with them, and they're going to just keep walking all over to you or standing on the back of your head.
Yeah, that's 100% it, man. It's insane. All this is insane. Plus, I think we should have some lawsuits, so us Italians should get together and say we want an Italian superhero back. You sons of bitches.
Yeah, where's our representation?
Yeah, you guys feel marginalized. You're marginalized now.
Yeah,
that's exactly it. We should do that. Trina and I, we're going to protest in the streets. We're going to demand reparations. We are so hurt by the loss of our one Italian icon superhero who is taking out the trash, you know?
The only problem is there's two of you. That's too many. They'll listen to one voice, ultra minority.
I can hear the chanting. I can hear the chanting now. Hey, oh, what the F is this? Hey,
all you have to do is wear blue wigs and paint your nails up in a bunch of different colors. They will listen to you.
Vinny, I gotta get a picture of that. Do it.
I would suggest red, white, and green fingernail polish.
Oh, dude, I'll totally do that.
It's me, Frank Castle.
We won't go away. Oh, hey, we won't go away.
Which is,
you know,
I love that.
Yeah, that's it. We're gonna put Brutal on that. He's gonna make all the signs for us. It's gonna be fantastic.
I'm all over it. I'm on it.
It's just one emoji. It's that hand doing the Italian hand.
Yeah,
the hand like this here.
We all flag with just that hand.
We all can see it too in our heads. That hand.
Yep, red, white, and green. You know.
Yeah, Blue makes a great point too. He's saying Bongino, he was watching him, and he said something similar with what they're doing with these, they're what they're trying to push and stuff, and what they're saying. You know, if you don't comply to the official narrative, now it's deemed far right. I mean, this is getting to be way too much, man. And then they want to cancel everybody. You know, there's something like I saw Trina. You had written something recently too out there on Twitter about there's a difference between boycotts and cancel culture. People don't seem to understand. You know.
Yeah, the left just doesn't seem to understand, or they're just being ignorant about it. Yeah, purposefully, which is probably more likely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we always say you vote with your wallet, right? So if a company's doing something you don't agree with, you just don't visit that establishment. And they're saying that that's cancel culture, but that's not cancel culture.
No.
That cancel culture would be us getting an employee fired because we don't like something they said or something like that.
A bank shut down. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. See, that's something totally
No, that's called the free market.
Right.
When you don't take your business to places that don't have the same ideals or you know have the products that you want or need.
Dude, that's why the lefties like communism, because they can't stand capitalism. That's the whole what we're seeing is not capitalism. They're like, oh, this is late stage No, this is corporatism. This is a failure.
Yeah.
This is what happens when the government gets involved and takes over. Like in true capitalism, you have no government. It'd be butt the hell out. Like the whole point of the government is to protect you from getting screwed. We're now seeing that corporations are in bed with the government. That's the direct opposite of capitalism.
Yeah, we haven't had a free market. I mean, have we ever really had a free market in this country?
Not since I've been around.
Well,
It's been a very, very long time. Originally, the government was funded by tariffs and property sales. There was no tax or anything. But that ended within 50 years.
Well, remember too, because here's the other thing people don't seem to understand. A lot of people, it's cool if you go digital currency. No, it's not. It's 100% horrible and evil. Because what's going to happen is any job that you can imagine that the person lives off tips, well, that all goes out the window.
Lemonade stands.
Yep. Your lemonade stands, your waiters, your waitresses, your barbers, your freelance
selling
artists.
Products you already purchased. Why are you getting taxed on a product you already purchased?
Yeah. There's a lot of nefarious stuff that's going to happen. There's a reason why they're going to be pushing this shit soon. That's why we have to stand. That's it. Your wallet does determine everything for these people. And giving money to these corporations is going to be a very horrible and evil thing. It's like whether you realize it or not, you're going to be part of the problem if you keep fucking giving it to these monsters, because what they're trying to do is dictate to you everything. In this movie, there's propaganda all over it. He's got BLM stickers on his backpack. They make sure that
exposed.
You see, again, if you're in a theater, it's right in your face. It's right in your face. I saw it on a little screen, was still able to catch it. And it's like, are you kidding me? Holy crap. You have the trans flag is also in there. You have these characters that are bizarre as hell. Dumpy looking Spider-Men and women, mostly the women. It's ridiculous. None of it makes any sense. People go, oh yeah, this is a great movie. No, it's not. The animation's nice. You could give them that. There is some pretty stuff in there. That's fine. But story's horrible. And there's other garbage that's peppered throughout. The movie's far too long on top of it. It's all about feelings and other nonsense too when it comes down to the Miles character. I don't know how many scenes he needs to have with his parents about that he's not there. He leaves the meetings. He's late for the meetings. We understand the Spider-Man aspect of his life because you've seen it with any Spider-Man movie and show or whatever, comic book. He's late for things all the time. We have that. But the way that they stretch it out in here is so stupid on every level. Your villain one of your villains, because I would chalk up 2099, Spider-Man 2099 as a villain as well. The way that they portrayed him in here is just like so stupid. But the Spot is your main villain-ish. It's hard to say because the way that they did it, he's a bumbling idiot in the beginning. He comes up with this plan where he does something where he's more crucial. He's talking about his creation basically, and in the middle of this, it's like Miles is there and he's just doing stupid shit. So there's a bodega scene where the Spot goes in, he's looking for the ATM. He's kind of in disguise. It's so stupid, but he doesn't know how to use his spots properly. Like they made him that much of a bumbling idiot. And he's trying to take the money out of the machine and he can't. Then the machine gets stuck in the ground in one of his spots. And while all this is happening, like it's like a Looney Tunes cartoon is how Liam was saying it. It was so stupid. And in the middle of this, you have Miles, I guess he's invisible or he's there and he's just like throwing a Hot Pocket in the microwave or some shit. And it's like, it's dumb. Like when he finally decides to step in, and then you have the Spot going, oh, it's my ultimate nemesis. And he's very dismissive about it. Your Spider-Man characters are not supposed to be dismissive of a villain or a super villain. If it's someone like a regular thug who just, stuck up a place, or you could be a little more dismissive on that level. But if it's a character who's got these powers and things, like it doesn't make sense, first of all. And when he starts to talk about what happened to him, this tragic shit, he's like, I'm late for shit. Like, it's very stupid how it's portrayed. He's not heroic on any level. You could see it's just like you
gotta get rid of that.
Yeah, it's like a selfish thing about him. And I get it. Teenagers are also like that. I mean, I can look at certain things, but overall, it's just bad writing. So in the middle of this whole fight, he's late for, again, like the schools. He's supposed to be going to a more fancy school, and there's an interview on what they're going to do with his grades and what he might be lacking in. He is a smart kid, blah, blah, blah. And the parents are waiting with the lady who's like, all right, where's Miles? And he's texting in the middle of this fight that goes on for too long as well. he kind of ties up the Spot in a weird and dumb way. And I mean, I don't know, kind of comical, but it didn't hit for me. Like it was stupid. I was getting annoyed watching this character. It's just the way that they were presenting him is just really stupid. And the whole thing of his father is like going to be a captain now. So I'm trying to unravel this, but at the same time, like my brain wanted to erase giant chunks of this already because I hated it. And this is someone who actually enjoyed the first one. I really liked the first one. I thought it was one of the better Spider-Man type movies that were out there story-wise. The Peter Parker character was great. They had better messaging throughout it. It had heart. Like, I like what they were doing. And I was cool with Miles in the first one. This movie, they made me hate Miles. It was that simple, you know? I don't understand why they did this. But so in the middle of this shit, he goes back to his place. He changes, gets back to his school. He's out in the daytime, like climbing and crawling on shit. Like anyone could see him. Like you can see there's like a lot of stuff that just doesn't make sense why they did it. He gets into his meeting. They're kind of impressed by him a little bit. And then in the middle of it, like he sees like on the adjacent rooftop, the Spot is getting free and he's got to go and he's got to go stop him. And he leaves this interview. Like, all right, we're good here, blah, blah, blah. And then he runs out the door and it's like, okay. Then his father has to leave because he's the chief of police and something's going on. And it's the Spot bullshit too. The father gets pulled into part of it. It's if you remember the first movie, the big collider that kind of got everything going, this multiverse bullshit. The character kind of goes back to this place and he's saying how that's where he's created. He's one of the scientists that, if you remember in the original movie, Peter and him went to the facility where that female Dr. Octopus was. And when they were leaving, there was an encounter with some of the scientists in there. And Miles throws a bagel at some guy and he hits him in the head. The Spot is the scientist who got hit in the head. Oh. But then he happens to also be one that was in there when the collider was exploding. And part of this black matter shit got on him and it deformed him and changed them. He doesn't have a face or anything. It's just, you know, he's all white and blank. And then he's got these black spots all over him where he could open up portals and shit. And while he's fighting Spider-Man, and he's using so many of his stupid things, and he screws himself up. He trips, kicks himself in his own ass using one of his black spot portal things. And he's kind of laughed at, and he falls in on himself. It's basically like he stuck his head up his own ass, basically, you could say. This is how stupid the story is. And he just disappears. And like, well, he's done. And then you have Miles again with a moment with his father that doesn't know that he's this Spider-Man character. And he's trying to do the fake voice and trying to give him advice on being a father. It's so stupid. Anyway, you get back to the Spot, and he's in this other, basically like Neo in the Matrix when they load up and they're in a blank white room with no walls or floor or ceiling. It's like it looks like that, and his spots are all over the place. And he goes to peek in, and he sees that he's looking into other dimensions, other realms. He sticks his head into a Lego world, so you see a Lego Spider-Man there. Like there's shit like that. They get into the Gwen stuff. Separately, like they show like the Spider-Gwen shit and more of what had happened in her universe there and her world of her Peter, who they kind of briefly mentioned it in the first one, and this one they show you more about it. Her Peter was getting bullied or whatnot, and he took a serum. He made a serum and turned into the Lizard. She fights him, and he basically dies during this fight. And in the process, her father, we know, is a cop. And he comes in on that as she's holding Peter's dead body because he transformed back into Peter, and she's trying to run away. They make it look like she's the one who killed Peter, and she kind of sort of did. I don't know. It was a mess of a movie. It was a whole.
This isn't
mess.
About Spider-Man, dude. This is only
it's not.
It's to push Miles Morales and the costume that came first that was Spider-Gwen. That's all this is. This is to get people to equate the word Spider-Man with a magical black kid with electricity and some blonde chick that has a hood on while she's flying through the air.
Oh, basically. Because like her comic book was a throwaway story, basically, that they were going to use in something else. I have it. I have the first appearance, the Edge of the Spiderverse, whatever it was. And for what it was, like a one shot, I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. This kind of alternate realm thing. But now that they made her a central part of all this shit, now they did the same thing with Miles, taking him out of the Ultimate Universe, bringing him into the other one. Dude, the whole thing is just convoluted. It's just a mess of shit. And this crap where they keep forcing these multiverses on everyone, like, I'm sorry, aren't people sick of it at this point?
I am. That's why I didn't even bother. Like, I have access to this thing. I ain't seeing it.
If you get one universe right, and then they start throwing in multi, it just it doesn't correct anything. It just makes it worse.
Dumb. And their cameos are so lazy as well. Like, super lazy. They just use stock footage from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, the Garfield Spider-Man. It's just stock footage, and it's like, okay, and you kind of see it in a weird little format screen thing. Like, it's retarded. And then, like, I didn't even know where to start with some of the other crap when things start to really go into this nonsense. Because, like, the Spot, basically, he wants to amplify his powers, and that's kind of what his plan. Like, he's starting to figure out how to use his spots more, and he's gonna open up these dimensions and travel and do God knows what. I don't fucking know. But they mixed in this aspect of this the portal. You see, like, a portal opens up, and in between that fight that was going on with the lizard character. No, I'm sorry. There's something else that happens with Spider-Gwen, and there's a villain that pops up in there. It's a version of the Vulture, and he's done, like, they did him, like, in scratchy like style, like I'm trying to think, maybe like Renaissance artwork type of deal. Like, it's like almost like on crappy old kind of paper, like this kind of parchment paper that he's sort of drawn on. But he's Italian, and then they screw up something in there too, because he has Gwen by the throat, and he's about to kill her, and he goes "Ciao ragazzi," when it should have been "Ciao ragazza." It's one character there, and it's female, so you needed the female part of it, not a plural with male, or like it made no sense. It was so stupid. It's like, so you got that wrong, and it was like, just like a simple line, and you fucked that up. But she gets saved by Miguel, the 2099 Spider-Man. This portal opens up, and he's helping her with this fight with this Vulture character. And you see, like, they got this wrist thing that's opening up these portals for them, and basically he's the head of this special unit where, like, they're monitoring the entire multiverse and these anomalies that they're trying to catch and fix. And Gwen sort of gets recruited into it thanks to this pregnant black version of Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, which again makes no sense. Chris made a good point of that. It's okay. So now you're bringing in an extra life that could be jeopardized. You have a pregnant woman fighting crime. It is so stupid. But yeah, she almost is like a mentor-like character to her. It's bizarre. But Gwen, she can't stay in her universe because she shows her father who she really is, because she's at gunpoint with the whole Peter situation and what happened, and he's blamed the Spider-Woman character, and she shows that it's her, and he's still calling in for backup, and like he wants to arrest his daughter. Like, it's so dumb. So she ends up going with them because she feels like she has no place to go. That Jessica character is like, oh, well, convinces Miguel she can't stay in her universe. Like, she's a wanted fugitive now, basically. And she's sort of helping them. And in this place, there are, like, every kind of Spider-Man that's there. It's just a mess of shit. And, like, goofy things that make no sense. You have a cowboy Spider-Man with a horse that has spider powers as well, hanging upside down, who's got a mask on. You got a T-Rex Spider-Man. They try to do, like, the Ben Reilly one, who it's not even Ben. Like, the way that they did Ben Reilly is a mess. Like, he's just tortured, confused character. Like, that's not how he was written. Like, oh my god, it was so stupid. How you doing, Blue?
I'm doing okay. Can you? Okay, yeah, I see my thing bouncing. You can hear me. I'm doing okay, and I'm thinking of listing off all the reasons why you're wrong. Okay, here we go.
Thank you, Blue.
Profound.
Because I'm right, and he knows it.
No, this sounds like such crap, and it
it's everything but Spider-Man.
You're probably not done telling us about the movie because it was 2.5 hours of Maoist torture session. But basically, all of this is reminding me of Antonio Gramsci or Antoine Gramsci. I think it's Antonio Gramsci, and I'll tell you why when you're done. All right.
Okay. So basically, I mean, like, there's just so much dumb shit. She ends up going into Miles' world. I forgot the number of his stupid Earth, but she goes over there and surprises him while he's in his room. And he's grounded because he missed his father's big thing. His father's getting promoted to captain. He was late. He brought the cakes and it screwed up. And they did like the little dumb gags with that. Anyway, he gets grounded. And she's like, well, you want to get out of here? Because it's Spider-Man grounded. So they go and they start swinging and doing all this shit. But in the middle of this, like they stop a couple of crimes. She disappears for a second. He's like, Gwen? Where are you, Gwen? And he's looking around. And she's got one of these wrist things that takes her into different portals, and she takes out this little disc that has like a spider on it, and it's got cameras, and she meets back up to him. Oh, I'm sorry, I swung down low somewhere, and I'm here. Like she made up some bullshit excuse, and the thing is like recording and following the Spot. So she's actually there for that character, the Spot, and she just happened to swing by to see how Miles is doing, type of bullshit, some weak flirtation with the characters. How did they separate again? Or if he went back home, I forget. I don't know. There was so much stupid shit. But basically, she ends up being alone trying to track down the Spot character, and Jessica Drew, I think, is in there as well. Or they're playing with like these holographic images and shit too of like these characters that pop up. It's a mess. The whole thing is a mess. But basically, the character figures out how to amplify himself, his Spot powers. He opens up a new dimensional portal, whatever, and she's kind of following him in there, and they're trying to stop him. But in the process of this, or like when it first happens, Miles, he follows her. He was supposed to go home. I think that was it, and he ended up following her. And he goes because he got the invisible powers, and he's following her like that. But it makes no sense. He takes off his mask while he's invisible. Like, because they're trying to show, I guess, extra emotion with the character. It doesn't make any sense why he would do it. One scene he has it on, and the next one is just, okay, why did he take it off? What? It was just a mess. And then the Jessica character is communicating with Miguel, going, where are you right now? And your mission was just to see the Spot. You didn't see him, did you? And she's like, no. And she lies to Jessica, and she's like, you're lying to me. And she's like, oh, well, I had to. And they're blaming Miles. The whole reason why all this happened is because of him. And she's like, well, I'll never see him again. And as she says it, like, he's in front of her face, but he's invisible and she can't see him. And he's like you see in his mind, he's going, what? Like, he's getting all hurt. But she goes into the portal to go find the Spot. And he's about to go back home like, well, fuck this bitch. And he changes his mind. He turns around and jumps into the portal. And as he goes in there, he's just like, there's like 20 minutes of him just going through different dimensions and popping up, and he encounters the stupid Spot character while Gwen's fighting, and he's like, oh, I'm here to save you. And she's like, what are you doing here? How did you get here? And he's spazzing out because he doesn't have the regulator. So like in the other movie, if you remember at the end, he was all cutting in and out. The other Peter, when shit was going bad. Anyway, they're trying to stop the Spot, and then they encounter yet another portal opens up, and they get into the Mumbai Indian Spider-Man character, which to me was more interesting than Miles by fucking miles. Like, it was amazing. I'm like, he's like a good-looking Spider-Man who has everything. He's cool with shit. His hair is good. He's got the hot chick. Like he's chill. He's super chill. And as they're all together, Bollywood. Like, yeah, he's going like, oh, he's like, he jumped through different dimensions for you. Oh, he's in love with you. And then they're like, no, we're not in love, and blah blah blah. He's like, oh, I could see it. Like, he's messing with them, but at the same time, they're kind of showing that. But he was more interesting. His character was more interesting. His world was more interesting than Miles. Miles was a shitty character throughout this entire film. He's annoying. He's a mess. it's stupid, you know. And it's like, and he's directly responsible for all the bad shit that was happening, essentially, because of what he did with. He wasn't supposed to be there. He wasn't supposed to be bit by the spider. That Peter Parker was never supposed to die. This is all thrown at him when he gets to this, you know, special Bureau of Spider-Man nonsense, and Miguel's trying to explain to him, because Miguel is a tortured character, and you see how pissed he is, and Miles said something stupid to him. He's like, "Oh, you want to know? You want to know?" And he gives him the breakdown of like why he's so bad, and basically, you're a fuck up, you're an anomaly who's not supposed to exist, and was trying to capture him at that point. And he breaks
the special bureau thing. Is that a ripoff of like Rick and Morty?
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. I didn't watch that.
You know, I could have summed this all up in a lot less words, Vinny. The number one problem is that you watch a Disney product.
Yeah. Honestly, this is giving me a headache. Like, this just sounds terrible.
It's a piece of shit. Again, I didn't pay for it. I mean, I was sitting there hanging out with my friend anyway. We were talking about other shit, and I'm like, this movie's terrible. Like, it was like background noise, essentially. It was horrible. Just
you watched it, so we don't have to.
Oh god!
And this is exactly the type of reason why I say I don't give a shit. Somebody could pay me to watch this shit, and I still won't do it. I have no interest in what Disney's doing anymore. They have proven countless times over the years that they don't give a shit about these franchises. They don't care about all the fans that were there in the beginning and why these things are being expanded into movies and other shows that are being put out there, or video games. It was the fans. It was done for the fans. And anybody that says anything different, man, they are eating glue paste and they are drinking Tide Pods and eating Tide Pods and washing it down with ammonia and bleach. These crayon-eating idiots just don't understand why these franchises created. Because if it wasn't for the original canon and everything that was in the comic books or whatever was in novels like Lord of the Rings, these franchises would not have existed outside of those contained little universes where they were at. Right. It was because of the popularity of the fans that wanted more from those franchises that you wind up seeing in these other forms of entertainment. And the fact that these brain dead son of a bitches can't figure that out is just astounding to me.
Oh, dude, I agree, man. I agree.
Oh, like by the way, Vinny, I did make that for you. You got it up in your top, and then you got another one right here. Just to know the pig is taking care of you.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. See, someone cares. But yeah, I had no intentions on seeing this shit. I was multitasking while I'm watching. So my day wasn't really affected, thank God. Like, for people who spent money, who wasted gas to go see this, like, my heart goes out to you. It's like, well, it's just shit. And a lot of people, I get it too, because the first one, it was entertaining. I liked it. The story that they told was good. Like I said, it had heart. But shit has gone to these points where it's so over the top, not just woke, but it's horrible stuff. The writing was terrible in this.
It's and even to a degree, I would say it's demeaning to all the fans.
It's insulting for sure. Absolutely, it's insulting.
Well, it's not for the fans though.
No, it's not. I honestly don't know who it's for.
No, I know exactly who it's for. We're not the target demographic. It's the generations that come after us. The generations that come after us won't know what this good stuff is. They'll hear the name because their grandparents talked about it, but they don't know what it is. Oh, Spider-Man, sure. They go and tune into Spider-Man and they see a magical black kid with electricity powers.
Yeah.
Well, how could it be made for them? Because those generations are completely disinterested in this stuff. Why do you think comic book sales tanked?
Well, it's not that's the thing. It's not for comics. No, it's not for comics. Dude, comics are dead. Anybody that reads comics, I did a poll. Like, the majority of people are over 40. Like, manga is where you're going to get your younger demographics. But as far as like Marvel goes, they're going for cartoons. They're going for movies and shit. And it's not for us. Like, we know it's bullshit, but like a parent will just throw their kid in front of the screen, or we're gonna go take little Billy to go. It's his birthday. We're gonna go let him watch Spider-Man with his little friends. They don't know what it is.
Yeah, this is why I joined in. Is I got a buddy of mine, and I asked him. I didn't get into any details or anything, and I said, all the problems with the Last Jedi there and the new Star Wars Disney or whatnot, and he's just like, yeah, well, at least it's Star Wars.
Yep. Oh,
It's
I have a friend exactly the same way, and he at first he talked about how much he hated everything because I really did. I checked out at The Force Awakens. I didn't want to watch anymore after seeing that damn thing because that thing was a piece of shit. And I remember everybody applauding that thing. And I was like, Jesus, what the hell did you people watch? Did you like have popcorn buckets over your head while you were watching this thing? Because you obviously didn't watch the movie. This thing was trash. It had a whole bunch of member berries in it, and it just it was garbage. It really was garbage. And the member berries they gave you are not the ones that the fans wanted to begin with. So
and my buddy, he's invited Amazon Alexa into his house. He is now he's swallowing anything on the Disney streaming channel, feeding it to his kids too. It's just like, dude, are you? I mean, he is completely undiscerning about his media. And you know what? He's a guy I know from my churches. So, or actually, I knew him from college, but we're in the same churches. And it's like all these Christians getting uptight about the cultural change. And I'm looking at this guy going, you guys have no clue what you're looking at. You're paying money for the thing you're complaining about destroying society. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, you're putting kindling on the fire. You're complaining about burning your house down.
Yep.
Okay, but you wonder who this is for. I think the multiverse thing, why it's showing up in everywhere, is because it's a nice conduit for them to bring in Antonio Graham. I keep saying Antoine, it's Antonio. I looked it up. It's Antonio Gramsci's theory of fighting hegemony. That is, you can't just have your own thing alongside. You can't have Lara Croft and Indiana Jones and 007 and whoever, I forget the other female secret agent like 007. For him, his theory in Marxism was that you have to replace. And so you can't replace until you destroy. And that's what we're seeing is they don't care about Peter Parker because they want him replaced with non-white straight male. And so that this entire thing you've told me just over and over again. Sorry, told me, I'm sitting alone in the room. But as you've been talking, Vinny, I just hear it over and over again. This is all based on an anti ideology, not an ideology that puts forth something real. This is all deconstruction. It's deliberate to undermine and destroy a society. And why? Because they think, well, you got different groups of people for why. Some know what's going on. They want to bring in the collectivism where you're not an individual, you're thoroughly controlled and monitored at all times. Other people just the emotional appeal of, the government's going to give you money is what they're going for. Other people, they like the self-righteousness that comes with, I'm going to have power over other people because I was oppressed one time when I was 4 and emotionally my parents never made me grow up because my parents are a product of the 60s or something like that. So that all of everything you've said lines up perfectly if you see that they don't care about character unless we take Miles Morales and, as I put in the chat earlier, rewrite him to be a better character. Then oh my God, how dare you touch canonicity? But no, they don't care about character. They don't care. All they care about is destroy what is. As long as it fits that, it doesn't matter to them.
Well, there is one more. There is one more grouping in there that you missed, and that's the people that are scared to speak up because they're afraid that something's going to happen to them. They're going to get canceled. They're going to get called names because there's a lot of people like that are just bullied into these situations, and it's why it's very important for those of us that got the mouth to stand up and tell them that exactly where they can go.
Yeah, be vocal about this shit. I mean, that's why we're talking about it. I mean, I'm not tackling this the way that other people's do. Like, they paid money to go see it, and then to be like, since I paid money, that's actually pretty good. No, it's not. This movie's a piece of shit. There's good visuals, I'll give them that. There is work that's put into it, but that's the creative people that were behind it that wanted to make it look good. The story's a piece of shit. The message is a piece of shit. Because I'll get into that as well. When he's at this bureau thing and they're gonna kind of put him in this prison or whatever, there's a bunch of cheap cameos in there as well. But while they're doing that and they're breaking down the story and whatnot of like how he fucked up essentially, basically the message that Miguel tells him is like, you weren't supposed to do anything, and it's because of you why your Peter died, and now these universes are unraveling. So don't be a hero. Sometimes you're supposed to let characters, or certain people are supposed to die, because they made it look like all of the captains, or like Captain Stacy there, Gwen's father, all these type of characters, they're supposed to meet their end. And because of it, it's like the Uncle Ben situation too. It made Spider-Man who Spider-Man is for the most part. So he goes, basically these characters were supposed to die and you got involved. And what happened? Your Peter died. You got bit instead. Like you were never supposed to be bit. There was already a Spider-Man there. Like they were trying to put this horrible message that don't do anything. It's like you fucked up because you tried to save a life. Because when they were having this fight in the India Spider-Man universe, whatever, he saved someone he wasn't supposed to save, and because he did that, that whole place was unraveling. So it's like, no, that person was supposed to die, and Gwen was trying to stop him. And he goes, wait a minute, I thought you tried to stop because you didn't want me to die. She goes, well, both reasons. Well, both reasons. You tried to stop him because you thought he was going to die. And two, that person, the cop, the chief was supposed to die. Is like, it was so fucking stupid. It was so stupid. And it really made no sense. Because again, that there was already an existing Spider-Man in that world and things were fine there. So why would that other character have to die? What chain of events was going to come of that? You know what I mean? It's just they were ass backwards, completely ass backwards. You could tell that again. Amy Pascal, she stuck her head in there, and we're like, no, I want this, and that in there. Make sure you glorify this, and that, because when you see this other world with all these different Spider-Men and shit, they are literally a bunch of fat, dumpy-looking Spider-Women. It's like they purposely, like, yeah, look, everyone looks like, no, a superhero is supposed to look like a superhero. If they're obese and gross or whatever, what message are you putting out there? You're telling kids, go ahead, eat poison, get sick, have heart problems because it's okay? No, it's not okay. Kids should be, again, I remember when I was growing up, they'd say, eat a healthier meal, have a healthier diet, have fruits and vegetables. You know, now it's like, no, eat all the fucking the candy and cakes you want. It's okay if you have diabetes and, you know, a massive heart attack.
Yeah, healthy at any size.
Yeah, get out of here. When's Lizzo gonna pop up?
You know, this reminds me of something. Oh. This reminds me of something my dad said when the family rented Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure on VHS. But he looked at it and he said, okay, let's be careful about where this is going because this is the glorification of stupid. You know, and it's, you know, like it's actually more glorifying of stupid than Napoleon Dynamite turned out to be. But still, he was right. My dad really predicted a lot of stuff. He tried to give me a photocopied chapter 1 of Dinesh D'Souza's book about illiberal education. So now that my dad's gone, I snagged that book off the shelf. Still haven't read it, but my dad was trying to warn me about a lot of stuff, and it's all coming true. It's ridiculous. And this was in the 90s. My dad was right, and it's all coming true.
Well, look at Kevin Smith. I'm sorry, everyone, they love Bob and Silent Bob and Jay. I fucking hated that movie. I thought it was.
I love Jay and Silent Bob. I think it's hilarious.
I used to love it too.
Yeah, no, Dogma's really good too.
Dogma's the one I'll give them. I watched that Bob and Silent Bob and Jay, whatever the fuck it is. And I brought it back right away. Like, I didn't see it in theaters. So I was, yeah, it's really good. If you like Dogma, you're going to love it. I'm like, whatever. I picked it up for a couple bucks. I'm like, this movie's a piece of shit. And at the time, like, GameStop were still doing trade-ins and stuff. And, like, brand new, I gave it back to I'm like, yeah, what do I get for this? And, like, oh, I get almost all my money. All right, cool. And he's like, well, you're getting rid of this? I'm like, yeah. The movie sucked. What do you mean? This is so funny. What was funny about it? George Carlin was the only funny thing in that fucking movie. Jesus. Anyway,
I got a kick out of it.
Vinny's the grumpy old man. Up in the
get off my lawn.
To me, like Blazing Saddles, like give me Mel Brooks comedies. Those are fucking hilarious. There's good stuff that's out there. I'm sorry, Kevin Smith, not a fan, and he proved what he was. So I don't know. Maybe I saw between the lines.
You know, I'm sorry. Blazing Saddles isn't even racist. It makes fun of racists, and people don't get it.
Yeah. Oh, right.
Kevin Smith lost all this talent in his fat. Like when he died and came back, like what came back was a demonic cuck monster. It was not like an untalented demonic cuck monster.
No, he didn't have the talent that you think he did. But when he came
Well,
back,
I
yes,
loved his previous films.
He was more soy for sure, but
no, dude, like I love the View Askew shit, like Clerks, Mallrats, all that
Clerks
shit.
and
It
Mallrats
was
are
hilarious.
great, yeah.
But then when he died, like all that fat just like oozed out of his body, and it took the talent with him. And then the soul that came back to the body was a demonic monster.
Because fat is funny. See?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my house.
Look at John Candy. He was fat and he was funny.
He is
John
huge,
Candy
and he was fucking
awesome.
hilarious.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That's an amazing comedy. That, and it had heart. It had a real story in there. I still got to
Uncle Buck all day.
Yeah.
Uncle Buck. Yes, dude. See.
All day.
I can't remember his name. The guy in Tommy Boy.
Yeah, I was just thinking of him. Yeah, Chris Farley. You know what's funny is he got depressed because everybody thought he was funny only because of him being fat, and you could see that in a lot of the stuff. But I thought when he wasn't playing up the fat side, he was still funny, and I guess I'm the only one.
Which one? Chris Farley or
Chris Farley?
Yeah, he stayed fat for his dad too. He said that.
Well,
His dad was huge.
His hero was freaking John Belushi. So I mean, everything he did in his career, he was trying to just pretty much emulate everything that Belushi did, and
that ended well.
Drinking and drugs and all that stuff. That was John Belushi all the way.
Well, that it's just it is tragic in every level because they say Chris Farley was one of the sweetest guys ever, and every time he met someone for the first time, all he would try to do is make them bust out laughing nonstop. That was his mission. Like he met someone, he shook their hand, said hello, and then try to do the funniest, goofiest, craziest shit at his own expense. A lot of times too, he didn't care. He wanted people to smile and feel good. And you got to give that to him. The thing is, his idol being Belushi, that was the biggest mistake. And then like once he got hooked into drugs, again, it destroys the mind on top of it. We talked about that with Robin Williams, the kid from Mrs. Doubtfire, the boy, I forgot what his name was. He was on a podcast. Yeah, that's right. He was one of the Lawrences, right? He was on a podcast and he talked about it, how Robin was always professional and awesome when he was on set. He was always on as well. But he walked in on him when he was in his trailer, and he was so depressed. He was holding his head. He said he was tormented in pain. And he's like, well, what's going on?
That was like his cautionary tale to not like do any drugs and all that kind of stuff as well, because it alters you to some extent.
Yeah.
Permanently.
Yeah, and dude, and that's it. I mean, because that's what screwed him over. Robin Williams, he used to try to keep himself busy all the time. He was doing the bicycle riding stuff. He became friends with Armstrong, and he was like doing all that shit. He was trying to keep busy as much as he could. In his downtime, he would play video games all the time. There were some funny stories that came out of that too. With some of the kids he was playing, like Modern Warfare and these other shits with, and he's like cursing at these kids, and he was doing the voices while he was playing as well. Like Mrs. Doubtfire is like telling them to go fuck themselves.
So, cursing all the time. So basically, the ETEP playing Mario Kart.
Yes, we did a lot of that the other night. But yeah, I mean, because he was trying to keep busy, to keep his mind busy, because once he was quiet, once he was just with his own thoughts, and again, he said it screwed him up. The chemical, the chemistry in the brain was all just fucked at that point. It's a sad thing, but again, cautionary tales.
I do have a little theory too, and this goes into the healthcare aspect. You look
he was sick on
a lot of. Well, you look at a lot of the greats from Mozart all the way down, the ones that are very, very right-brained. Mm-hmm. I think there is, and this is my personal belief because of things that I've seen over the years. There's no studies that have been done, but the further right-brained a person gets, the less compatible for life they are. And these ultra creative, ultra funny music, you could look at, Jimi Hendrix all the way through. Just brilliant in their own respect when it comes to creation and artwork. But compatible with life, it just doesn't pay out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's very similar with IQ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The higher IQ, the worse you get.
The higher IQ people have trouble fitting into society sometimes. It's not a singular factor though. It's not just high IQ. There's always something else, but it's high IQ, and if there's something else, high IQ has the same thing you just said about being right brain.
Yeah, well, the geniuses generally don't go with the flow, and as a result, they generally have lack a lot of social. well, like we joke about like autistic people and stuff. Like we're like, oh, that guy's gone total spurred or whatever. Hey. But it's like I look at people who are incredibly intelligent, and sure, they're pretty. I've known a few of them. Like I have friends that are absolute geniuses, and I don't use that term liberally. That are very rough around the edges. It's like you have to get past the it's kind of like Rorschach in the Watchmen movie where like the Night Owl guy's like friends with Rorschach, but he's like, you can be an asshole sometime.
Yeah.
But he's a good guy and he knows he's good. He just has social problems.
Yes.
I want to know why you're bringing up my name, Fisk. That's what's going to happen here. I never compromise, you son of a bitch.
You're all trapped in here with me.
It's the thing of
sorry.
It's the thing of having a point of view or having an insight that you can't communicate to anybody, not because you can't find the words, although that happens too, but because other people can't understand. They can't handle it. They can't put the pieces together to relate with the insight you're trying to convey or something like that.
Oh God.
They can't observe the things that the genius person is observing, and it drives the genius to depression.
Well, so I'm not a genius by any stretch of the imagination. In fact, I'm probably like the Alex Jones level of the quote. But I found that when I took psychology, we were doing some tests on ourselves, and I was a guinea pig for one of my.
I'm kind of retarded.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, and it turns out I'm a visual.
A visual bring up the rest of my people, Fisk. No, tonight.
No, I'm trying to explain something to.
Yeah. Let him explain.
I thought he was turning the frogs gay. Okay, go ahead.
Don't be a guinea-phobe. Don't be a guinea-phobe.
No, I can completely understand with that or empathize with that concept of. It's not your lack of verbal skills. It's that, like, as somebody who's an extremely visual thinker, I deal with a lot of people, especially engineers, that have aphantasia. So when I'm describing something, it's like describing a rainbow to a blind person. Mm-hmm. There's these concepts that they just don't understand. So I've actually had to, as part of my career, I've learned to basically become the master infographic artist, where instead of giving somebody a verbal description of what I'm describing for a concept or an idea, I literally have to draw it out. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah, I get that. So I can understand why if somebody's like world smarter than me, that's trying to explain these abstract concepts to people that are like, huh?
Yeah.
My sister started.
And even though I forget who brought up right brain, was that Adega, and I brought up IQ, it's not like those are the only qualifiers that separate people in communication. I mean, Frankie is here, and he's just kind of, separate in communication.
We'll give him a Twinkie, make him feel better.
Hey, Frankie. Soul Assassin's in the house as well. And Tony actually, he said that, he goes, I have a fairly high IQ mix, which I also abuse. He goes, which makes it hard for me to fit in with groups. He goes, I'm all fucked up. Well, but here's the thing, though, too, man. And I mean, and much love to Tony. Tony's a great fucking person. He really is. And everyone on this panel, Adega goes, something must be wrong with me, too. And here's the thing. Like, we all have our things, but at the same time, everyone on this panel is very vocal about shit. We don't just go with the flow of things. We've made our cases with a bunch of shit. When we see bad things happening, we call it out. We talk about stuff. Other people, it's either they just comply or they want to be like a dictator and they want their Simpson, their sheep, and everything else, or whatever. From anything and everything, from politics to our neck of the woods and all that crap. Over here, like I said, the Sunday Roundtable, it's everyone's equal here. You're on my panel. We're all having a proper discussion about things. And sometimes they're not so proper conversations, but we all chime in with whatever the fuck we want to say when it comes to certain things. But we're giving a more human outlook on stuff or our own take on things. We're not just going with the flow of it. We're not just going with the narrative out there. You know, because I see so many people just complying or compromising and doing stupid shit.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense. It's like, okay, if you want change, then shouldn't you be the example? Shouldn't you be doing things better or differently? You know, moving the needle in a better direction than what's going on? Because everyone is just like head down in the sand and like, oh, well, as long as I can still do what I'm doing, or like, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, it totally bugs the crap out of me when I see people talking about, you know, the culture war, this culture war, that, and they're not doing a thing to change it. They're just still consuming Disney. What I see it mostly is Disney, because, you know, it's our sphere, geek sphere, and Disney Marvel crap, and they're still consuming it, and it's like, don't talk about the culture war if you're still, you know, going in and consuming that crap. You just can't do it.
Supporting it, because that's what they're doing. They're supporting it.
I just want to take a moment to recognize somebody on our panel for being an absolutely inclusive individual by telling Frankie he should have a Twinkie, especially considering what month it is. You are a good boy. You are a good boy.
Oh shit!
Frankie's
he's selfish cop.
Jeez. Okay. Frankie's good. I don't know. I don't know why he goes. Yeah, don't go after Frankie like that. That's not good. It's gonna end poorly for you guys. That's not wise. That's not wise. He's gonna be like this over your bodies.
Oh my God! Get a doctor. Get a hearse. It's dead fucking poo.
He is Italian.
Don't forget, we got the Punisher up there now. We're gonna bring him back. We're gonna make him better than ever.
The disciplinarian.
I think you're a good brother, Vinny, using Frankie as your model there for the Punisher. It's very nice of you.
He wishes he looks like that.
Oh damn!
My Punisher's like 250 pounds of solid muscle. Like
Jeez, brothers.
I'm at the face.
I see it. I
Did
see
you just
Frankie
assume his
there.
gender? Oh my God!
I see a lot of my anger is in that Punisher that I drew there.
We've been assuming Frankie's gender for years. Like, hold on.
Just relax.
What? Assuming his gender. No, Frankie's a guy. That's what are you talking about? He's not built like a freaking wrestler. I mean, oh shit.
I know you're not talking about me.
Because I know you ain't talking about me.
Must be somebody else here.
Frankie, they're talking about another Frankie. Don't worry about it. I'm trying to save my panelists here, but they keep just like walking into the wood chipper.
Or the wood chipper coming from Mel.
Just
well, it is the perfect month.
Friggin' frog's gay.
Never forget that.
I'm sorry, but there is a whole bunch of inclusive people on this panel today, and you all deserve rainbow-colored lollipops. You have been absolutely fabulous tonight.
Someone discipline that dog.
You know, when Mario found out what happened to the Punisher, it broke his heart. It's me, Mario Kartitis. Oh no. Oh, my bad. What happened to him is what happened to Jamie Foxx.
Yep.
Too soon?
Oh.
You talking about the wood chipper?
No.
Oh God. But anyway,
there you go. Did you say wood chipper? There you go. You got the ticker up.
We're having a moment of silence, but I don't know what for.
Oh, there's a marquee at the
Read the banner.
Yeah, I wanted to read that.
Be sure to back the look out of. Be sure to be on the lookout for Shadow of the Kraken wood chippers, exclusively designed by a former lead designer of McFarlane Toys.
Tommy, that's like false advertisement right now.
As long as it doesn't take you 3 years to make it happen, you're going to be okay.
Look at the action features on this wood chipper.
Through
Blah,
the
blah,
wood
blah.
chippers.
Something,
right?
something,
That's-
something, cunt, blah, blah, blah.
72 points of articulation.
Hey, look, I cannot say whether I made all those banners or not, those tickers. It may or may not have been the pigs. I got to blame somebody else.
It's a 43,000 piece figure.
Yeah. It's like I have assembled the wood chipper in 6 pieces. What's the
One wheel is bigger than the others.
Yeah.
Hey, let's play 52,000 pickup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You may need an eyedropper for some pieces.
No, this is what it says. It came with James Gunn. I don't. Oh.
It's just a bag of mulch. You know.
Wait, did someone say James Gunn? Fuck you, James Gunn. Thank you, Hans Scott.
Oh man.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's just amazing. You can't say we don't have fun here.
You know.
Frank, what's going on in here? What happened?
I had a minor stroke. No big deal.
What's with the gun, dude?
I'm trying to find the son of a bitch who fathered my children.
What, by doing MySpace?
Yeah, and I did everything they said to do. I put a picture, a profile, a thing won't tell me where the bastard lives. No hesitation. Nah, no surrender. No hesitation. No surrender. No surrender. No surrender. No surrender. Oh, shit.
Just a random Danny montage there.
Escape from Gringotts.
Oh fuck! Right? Oh man, I don't know. This is all crazy.
Well, that didn't take long to descend this whole stream into chaos. It's absolutely beautiful, and I love it.
Yeah, it just happens. I'll finish the end of this piece of shit movie for you. It sucked. All right. So from being cucked throughout the movie, then he's better than all the other Spider-Men and women and Transformers and everything else. He breaks out of his little containment unit and he breaks out of where he is, and they're all chasing him. They're all looking
the movie
for him.
ended already. God. All right.
Yeah. So basically, it's like, where is he going? He's in a world he doesn't recognize. He doesn't understand what the fuck's going on. It's just retarded. So basically, he lures them somewhere, and then he goes somewhere else, and then he hits a switch, and he gets brought to a dimension which he thinks is his, and twist, it's not. And he's in a world where now his uncle's alive, and he's the Prowler. To be continued.
Right, let me see if I understood. Yeah, if I understood part of this, it's basically to oppress him as a black character because he did something that, because I lost track of who you guys were talking about. Pronouns lost me a while ago. Miles did something that messed up the universe, and the whole continuity of and canonicity of other characters is now in danger, and so they're oppressing him, but he's a black person, so that's more victimization for blacks or something. Is that in there?
You could see some of that, but it's not even to those extremes. Because the thing that he shouldn't have existed is first with that Miguel character tells him, the 2099 Spider-Man. He tells him he shouldn't exist because he existed. His Peter died in that world, and they were kind of okay with him, but yet he messed up things even further with the Collider thing. But then when he went and they were doing that thing with Indian Spider-Man, and they tried to save the day over there when they were fighting the Spot. He screws up, and somebody was supposed to die who didn't die. But it makes no sense why they wanted to kill off that character, because who was it supposed to help grow? You already had an established Spider-Man. It doesn't make sense writing-wise to the story.
Okay, so what I'm getting there, I think they would not do that to a character and say you're not even supposed to exist unless that character was black. I'm saying that there are sneaky subliminal undertone messages of, oh look, more oppression and crap like that.
Well, yeah, they peppered it in there where, again, his school bag had hashtag BLM on it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not even that they're hiding it. It's like, okay, here's this to show you in the beginning a couple of times, and then when you see all this stuff go down, yeah, It's fucking stupid. And don't forget too, while he's fighting the Spot, again, he's all in black here, and the Spot is what? All in white.
Evil white man.
Or was I missing something? The whole thing is ridiculous. And then again, changing these other characters. Oh, if someone asked too about that whole spider tank woman with the fucking cable arm there, her giant arm cannon thing. The character is like, it's in one scene when they're all chasing him, and it's shooting at Miles, basically. There's no lines. It's just this giant mess of a monster of a character that you probably wouldn't even have known she existed or that it was a woman, but the figure came out and they try to cram it down your throat. So there's that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, his dad apparently is a cop, and yes. But here's another thing it parlays into, and Draven we were talking about this with the Spider-Man 2 video game for PlayStation. That there's an article that came out saying that because the first game was so pro-cop, which I didn't understand that at all, these people who were claiming that it was pro-cop, because basically Spider-Man is working with the police at certain points, but kind of unofficially, like he's helping them, but they did it in a way where it's like not so much vigilante. Like Spider-Man's established that he's a good guy and he's done a lot of good things for the city. So him helping them with time things and whatever and kind of opening up the map, like that was the purpose of it in that game, to open up more of Manhattan. And it made sense to the story. Now in this one, they're saying that, no, he's not going to be working with the police. And they'll probably have him fighting the police at certain points too, because police are bad. Police are not bad. This is, again, they're moving the goalposts. They're putting their propaganda in this shit. And
I haven't played the Miles Morales game, but I downloaded it last night because I'm probably gonna play it just because I feel like if I do end up getting this game, which I'm kind of slowly leaning to not get it at this point and just wait until it's on like Game Pass or with PlayStation version of that. But I know they had the BLM and all that shit in the Miles Morales game too. So they've been, since the first game, they've been trying to pepper the shit in.
Yeah. In light of the news that has come out that has revealed that this was a big scam and that these commies, that Marxists or whatever they want to call themselves, that scammed all these people who had $1 million mansions and all this shit. Anybody that's still supporting this, I hate to say it, but you're Alex Jones level retarded now.
Yep.
You know, like if you still support this shit, like the sentiment, fine. Yeah, black people don't deserve to get shot by cops. But guess what? Statistically speaking, you're more likely to get shot by a cop if you're white. So, you know,
and a criminal.
Yeah, exactly. Like you don't want to get, you don't like cops coming after you. You probably shouldn't be breaking laws. Just saying. But anybody that still supports this though, like seriously, rethink your life decisions.
Yeah. Because it is ridiculous. It's super ridiculous. Lion Rat, no, I don't think they're making the Asian cop a villain in the game, but Peter's not going to be working with her, or maybe they're going to make him so evil with the Venom stuff that he's going to be doing bad things, or maybe breaking people's arms, or who knows. It could be just a whole slew of different shit. But they're basically going to say that, yeah, the cops they're not working together with Spider-Man, and Spidey's not going to be doing that type of stuff. And I'm sure they're going to force more Miles on you, because what we saw in that gameplay that they showed, you swap in between the characters. Like it's forced. It's not like you have a choice. It's like, okay, you just played as Peter, and Peter just told Miles to do something, and now you got to switch over to Miles and do that thing that he told you to. Like it's, I don't know, man. Again, they're cramming it down your throat. They held, I think, that PlayStation game because I think it was ready to come out. They held it so that this movie could come out and they could push more of their horse shit of, Miles is your Spider-Man. Get used to it because we're probably going to kill off Peter in this game. Like
that's going to be the final boss. No, that'll be the final boss. Is you have to play Miles to fight against Venom-infused Peter, and you have to try to save Peter, but he most likely dies.
I really hope that we're wrong. I really, really do hope we're wrong, but I know we're right. You know, and that's the thing that sucks because like that original game was a masterpiece. That was nearly perfect. It's one of the best experiences. And this is from a long time Spider-Man fan. Someone who's supposed to work on the book as well. And like, you know, I grew up reading them, and they had everything there that they needed to have. The sequel we were all looking forward to. We waited so long for it, and now they're doing this shit.
And Vinny, how did that make you feel?
Well, I feel like I'm not represented anymore because if the Punisher's not in it, then what should I care? You know, this is. I feel triggered right now. I think we should have a lawsuit between Nintendo, Marvel, all this stuff. Because why do Italians always have to be plumbers or pizza men? And why is our one superhero going bye-bye now? This is wrong. I'm saying you're wrong.
We get the worst treatment.
Right?
Like Italian representation, they're either like a mobster, a plumber, or a plumber. I can't.
Hard R on. Got the hard R on that plumber.
Oh man, Trina dropped the hard R on plumbers. That's our word, Trina. That's our word.
Well, that's one step up from the Irish because we're either beat cops or sheep farmers with bad habits. So
we tried so hard to be professional on this stream, and then Trina drops a hard R.
Am I the only professional? Guys are acting like a bunch of
Pistachio ice cream.
always saying they're gonna.
You guys forgot about number runners and
bridge builder.
But go ahead, finish your thought, Trina.
That's basically it. We get the worst representation.
Oh, tell me about it.
But we don't even complain. Like are we the only ones that just don't complain?
Do you want to know what bad representation is? Okay, the only two people that represent me in Hollywood right now. No, is Elliot Rodger, the guy that like the spoiled Hollywood kid that's half Jew, half Asian that went and killed a bunch of people who got blamed for being a misogynist for some reason, even though his Minecraft score was more for men, but whatever. And Paul Gruber. That's my representation.
He does taxes. He's a wrestler and he does taxes.
Okay, we talked about high IQ earlier. Do you know what kind of representation high IQ people get in movies? All right, we've got one with schizophrenic in A Beautiful Mind, and the other one in Pi drilled a hole in the side of his head at the end of the film. That's the kind of representation they get.
Spoiler alert.
Egon Spelman.
How you doing, brother? I dropped you a link if you want to pop in.
It wasn't suicide. He was lobotomizing himself, and it worked anyway. So.
You know who else did that?
Yes.
It was what's his face in Frankenhooker.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how he stopped his headaches.
Yeah, he was lobotomizing himself.
What was his name? I can't remember his name now.
And he made Super Crack. I can't remember his name.
Don't laugh! Don't laugh! She's right! She's right! This crack shit's killing them! This super crack will get the job done a lot quicker.
That was
Super Crack was my ex-wife's name when she was a stripper.
Oh shit! It was Super Crack.
Lion Ratton says he hasn't seen A Beautiful Mind yet. Oh, okay.
Oh, it's
A Beautiful Mind. That was a good movie.
Yeah, I liked that movie a lot.
You know, for all the crapping on Hollywood people we get, the ones who don't want to live in Hollywood are the ones I respect. Like, believe it or not, Russell Crowe and Chris Pratt. I actually respect those guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
for
Bruce
sure, man.
Campbell.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Kurt Russell, Russell Crowe. Both of those guys they're awesome. They're very based when it comes to all this shit too. And they don't want to get involved in that nonsense, but like they'll be vocal. I know Kurt Russell, he had fights with so many of those lefties and stuff. And he's like, I'm not giving up my guns.
Sly Stallone, no woke shit.
Yeah, he's right.
Hey guys, thanks for having me around. I'm going to take off because I got to do stuff involving multiple. I'm building a computer for my nephew right now, and like I actually had to close down like 50 tabs just to have enough memory to log in here. So
wow.
I will see you all later.
All right, man. So that was code. All right, building a computer for a nephew is code for pooping. All right, have a good one.
Back to the chat. Bye bye.
Have a good one.
That's all good, man. Thank you for being here, Blue.
Yeah.
Talk to you later.
Well, if he has any problems afterwards, he's probably going to give you a call, Vinny.
Yeah. Oh, good. I had a lot of tacos today. I got to be building some computers.
No, it's because
How can I get this?
so
Maybe
great with
plumbing.
computers. I'm fantastic with
Italian
computers.
plumber. Yeah, you just got to have problems.
No, it's like get a hammer and you got to hit that CPU right in the noggin. And it'll work.
Oh, God. I don't want a hammer anywhere near my computer. Ouch.
If you clog a toilet, you got to use your what do you call it? The plunges? Yeah, it's I don't know. Oh, dude, it's all crazy stuff. But yeah, well, this movie, I don't know if they're not making profit yet because I think it cost over $200 million to make, right? And worldwide, this thing pulled in $208 million. We know this is going to hit at least $500 million, at least, but. It's funny, international, it only made $88 million. So yeah, I think the other movie posters, they have his mask on in Asia, and he's very, very
saying
small.
100 million here.
100 million to make?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Well,
but again, if you times it by 3 at least, they got to still make at least 300 million to make profit. But yeah, I don't know. I think word of mouth could definitely hurt this thing, and it should. You know, I'm not someone to tell you where to spend your money, but if you are giving your money still to Disney and stuff, like, look what they're doing. Just look what they're doing. You know, make a proper decision on your own. But I think it's a mistake. These movies are shit. What they're pushing is shit. Yeah, it is what it is. Oh, well, speaking of which, let's see what this Little Mermaid. This thing's tanking. 326 million. Yep. This is a stinker. This is a smelly fish. You know, it's rotten.
It's not just a smelly fish; it's a wide-eyed smelly fish.
It's a
hammerhead shark. It is a hammerhead shark. I think what's her name? Anna Taylor-Joy should do. She should be in there as well, and they could compete.
I like Anna Taylor-Joy.
Two hammerhead sharks banging each other.
What kind of fish is she? She's a finless brown trout.
A fluke.
Thank you, Chris. We didn't have enough of those jokes in here, but now we do.
Get the fuck out of my house.
Man, seriously, you guys are going to need to start scaling it back. This is getting ridiculous.
Yoshi.
Jesus.
Yoshi
and she.
All the black Yoshis.
Yoshi.
All right, I'll finish playing the clip from before.
I'm kind of retarded. That man's a threat to this country.
I love the Pavarotti.
Hell yeah, Fast X.
That's right, and yeah, this is for Draven. He enjoys these films. Again, Godspeed, Spider-Man. But 600.
If you're building computers for your nephews, oh sorry.
Yeah. 603 million on this one. So this is still ranking it in. I didn't like the last ones make like $1 billion or something.
I think so, yeah. They're just good popcorn movies. Like turn your brain off and just enjoy the ride. Like
it's for Chinese audiences, dude. They just like explosions and they don't.
We know
better.
We know that Draven loves Asians and the handicap. So, and that movie has both. That movie has both.
Who's handicapping that?
Vin Diesel, obviously.
People did enjoy it.
No. Goddamn.
Immediately, I'm going to outer space.
Family.
He doesn't go to outer space. Tyrese and Ludacris do.
Oh. See? Retarded.
I forgot something. I forgot something. I just realized something. I had to wipe after building my nephew's computer, and you know, otherwise I get all itchy back there. Anyway,
front to back.
He came back to borrow a plunger. He's like, "Hey, you got a plunger."
I realized this ties in. The reason my nephew needs some computer help is he's an artist, okay, and I can't identify him just yet because that might out me as even though we have different names, but still, he's an artist and he uses old Photoshop because he doesn't want the cloud crap, which means he's using older hardware. He's still using a PowerPC Mac, like a G4. And so he had some power supply issues, and I happened to have from rebuilding them before. I had an extra one. I sent it to him, and it's still, I think the motherboard's gone. So I'm doing other things. I almost got into too many details there, but I'm building him another computer that will run the old software. And this all ties into, they say it's anti-piracy, and maybe at one time it was, but this centralization of all things so they can always shut you down. And he's like, I don't want my artwork in the cloud outside of my control if Adobe suddenly owns my license and they could just yank it and I can't get to my stuff.
That's the other thing too, because that falls into the copyright stuff, because everybody knows that when you create something, it's legitimately already protected by copyright. You don't even need to send it into the government, but you need a hard copy somewhere to prove the time and the date, or at least the date. So if you're putting that on your computer and they can get into it, is the minute you upload it, they can snag it and say, "Yeah, we had it. You stole it from us at the same time." And that's the problem with that cloud shit.
Yeah, anything.
Also, if they have companies that are fishing through there with AI, they're going to be generating all this AI art off of your stuff, which should be hidden in the cloud.
Well, here's the thing: is you can save. You can choose to save in the cloud version to the cloud or to your local device, and if you don't save it to the cloud, then they don't even see it. But as somebody that has been a user of Photoshop since its inception, the cloud version, I have it. I have legit copies of it, and I am absolutely pissed off at Adobe because they sent me back 3 weeks worth of work. I've been coloring for somebody. I have a client, and I've been coloring their comic for them. And they've magically updated their software, like, oh hey, this Photoshop needs an update, auto update, put it through, and suddenly they have this thing like live gradient or whatever, and it converts all of your gradients into vector files, and it completely destroyed what I was working on. I had to actually uninstall Photoshop, and at first I was trying to troubleshoot it. I'm like Googling how do I disable this, blah blah blah, couldn't find it. So I've lost 3 weeks worth of work. I've had to basically I'm just glad my client hasn't been like, dude, I want my money back. You're freaking taking too long. But
he just doesn't want the constant subscription license where suddenly if something goes wrong, he can't get to his work at all, even if it's saved locally.
Yeah.
So, and it's like Lion Ratton here says, but you still need the new version of Photoshop to open the PSD file. Yeah, and my brother's a typesetter. That's his dad, just coincidentally there. And my brother, as a typesetter, still for his own personal stuff like collecting stamps and making his own pages for the stamps, even though he's been a typesetter professionally, he still uses, I kid you not, Mac Classic software, like the stuff from up through 2000. So like doing computer maintenance for my brother, it's like I need to learn to start soldering capacitors at this point.
Well, it's a bunch of these
hard drives.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's the modern stuff doesn't do. When they change softwares, the modern stuff doesn't do what he wanted to do. So he just kept the old software, and eventually it evolved into this.
Well, that's the problem with most of these online software things, is that you keep getting like those updates that destroy all your work. And I've seen it outside of Adobe too. I have actually seen it with Wondershare Filmora when I'm editing videos. I put a bunch of videos in there and I'm working on them. The next time I go in to go work on them, bam, all of a sudden, oh, we got an update, boom, and it screws up everything you were working on. Sometimes you can re-download the file under the new format. Sometimes you can't. And I've actually lost a lot of shit. As a matter of fact, one of the intros for Collectible Past. One of the intros for Collectible Past I was working on where I wanted to add Trina. I can't find the original file anymore since Wondershare updated everything.
Yeah, and Clip Art Studio is also fucking people over. I have the lifetime subscription, and they have a new update. And now, if you want any of the newer stuff that they're adding onto the program, now they're looking to milk people like $50 a pop or something, like per month or so. I forgot what it was. Like I just opened it the other day. And I saw this new thing popped up, like to update your software to re-sign in or whatever. And I'm like, what is this bullshit? And when I did, that's oh, thank you. We had shut down the lifetime subscription for a while because we were changing our formats and how we were doing things. And now we have this new service, and they want to milk people. All right, you paid for a lifetime subscription, and now you don't even get all the bells and whistles anymore. Now you want those, you got to pay even extra. So it's like, wow. So they just defeated the purpose of all that.
Yeah.
They just
All
wanna
right, this
bend
time I'm gonna leave.
people
I'm gonna leave for real and go take a shower because after that last computer build, I need a shower. I got-
Thank you, Uncle Bill.
He was feeling dirty, I'd hate to see the toilet. Lion Rat, you know what? Yeah, you know, Wondershare, there's a lot of positives with that service, and they've actually gone to bat with me against some of these people that are making false copyright claims on a lot of my videos. So I will give them props up and down, but when they have these stupid updates, they have not thought all of them through because it just causes all kinds of problems with all the information you've already saved on the service.
Yeah.
Yep.
But again, thank you, Uncle Blue. Blue. Thank you for being here. Sorry, just being a troll.
Dude,
man.
that freaking pisses me off though about that Photoshop creative thing because it's like I want to do it legit, you know.
Yeah,
I
it's
want
bullshit.
to. I can afford it. I'm going to do it the honest way, and they just auto updated and suddenly, hey, we got this cool new feature. You didn't even have a chance to opt in or opt out of, and bam, freaking destroyed all of my gradients, converted them all to vector.
And you know what they should do for people that don't want to sit there and convert certain things, and I don't care what company it is and what they're doing with these updates, they should give you an option that you could keep it in the old format.
You can opt out or whatever.
No,
not even opting out. Just keep whatever work that you have going on in the older format, so it doesn't have to update, so it doesn't mess up everything that you're working on.
You can do that in Creative Cloud. What I ended up having to do is I actually uninstalled the latest version of the OS. Oh, I'm sorry, latest version of the Photoshop, and I actually went through its update history. Like you can actually go through like the version history, and I had to test each one to see when they freaking dropped in that stupid vector graphics shit. And like it took me like a week to figure it out. I was like, oh, okay, now I got the right one. Now I got to convert these back to a raster thing, which is, you know, not exactly. It's pretty easy to do, but then I had to cut each and every one of them out and make them their own separate layers. It was a pain in the ass, and I was like, thanks Adobe for making my job harder than it already was.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, man. But anyways, yeah, I think we'll wrap this one up. We'll go around the horn. We'll hit see where everyone's doing, what they got going on, and all that good stuff. But yeah, we'll start with ladies first. So we'll go to Trina. Trina, let the good folks know what's going on in your neck of the woods, and if you got anything planned this week and whatnot.
Well, I want to say thank you for having me on. This was a really fun stream tonight. A lot of laughs. And it was great to be with you guys. Great to see the chat. And yeah, on Wednesday, we'll be doing the Real Horror stream at 7 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to be comparing the original The Crazies to the remake. And yeah, hope to see you guys there because it'll be a fun time.
Absolutely. Yeah. Again, I'm a big fan of the remake movie. Only seen the original recently, but yeah, looking forward to talking about this one. It's going to be good. Everyone go subscribe to Trina's channel. Trina's fantastic. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you had an awesome time as well. Yeah, it was a blast having you here.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. We'll jump over to Chris Fisk, the legend. Hey, let us know what's going on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. I think I'll be on tomorrow night on ETEP's channel for Going in Raw. And then I believe Tuesday I'll be hanging with my buddy Meth Gator, aka Black Angus Reviews. And then Wednesday, I believe Draven's got the is it Rampage?
Dynamite.
Hell yeah. And then Thursday with my friend Aaron C over at Immortal Rising Comic. And then Friday, back with you guys.
Hell yeah, man. Dude, Chris, thank you so much for being here. Again, these are all great people here. Good friends, and go support them. Hell yeah, man. Looking forward to tomorrow. We're mostly hanging out on a lot of these streams together anyway, so it's always a blast. And yeah, ETEPs ought to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
We were causing a lot of trouble on Draven's channel last night. So again, apologies again, Draven. If you want to nuke that one or trim it a bit.
Fine. I didn't touch it. I don't give a fuck, honestly. So I'm gonna share my screen. This is the card for Wednesday.
Oh yeah.
At least some of it. So we got Jack Perry and Hook versus Preston Vance and Drillisco in a Texas Tornado match.
So 1 adult and 3 kids.
Orange Cassidy versus Sir Strickland for the AEW
Come on, Swerve.
I know, right? We got Ricky Starks versus Jay White.
Come on, Jay.
Yep.
He's gonna
And
wipe
then
the cocaine off.
we'll hear from AEW World Champion MJF.
I feel represented.
So it should be a good show. And I look forward to having you all there watching it and whatnot. And thanks for having me.
Oh, absolutely, man. It still sucks that Luke Perry's son is such a bitch.
I know. He needs to just get rid of the gay Jungle Boy shit and like put on some bulk and muscle and fucking go heel and just be a badass. Wear the leather jacket like he was, and
yeah. There's a way of fixing it. And be nice to the fans because he definitely is not. But Draven, thank you so much, buddy. Everyone go sign up to his channel if you're not yet. Go like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We got Brutal Morningwood in the house as well.
Hey, again, thanks, for including me. It's, this is one of the few joys I have in my life. This is cool.
I'm glad we could bring you some joy. Man, hanging out with good people and laughing.
I'm sitting here and I think, let's review. What have we learned from this? Basically, if you see basically someone in danger or in trouble, don't help them. Because you might be stopping someone from becoming a superhero if you help them.
Well, that was the message. That was the message of the Spiderverse movie, not our message. But go ahead.
So if Nan is choking on a sandwich, step over her and go. If a baby falls in the pool, walk away. Right?
Yeah.
Like
if
that's what we learned from this.
That's if they're going to become the chief of police. Then yeah.
That's right. Right. Because you may be stopping someone else from becoming a superhero by saving them. Right. Okay. I just wanted to make sure we got that clear. That this is just a brutal take that I'm working on.
Yeah. There's nothing clear about that Spider-Verse movie. Right. It's people don't be fooled by just the pretty drawings and shit. I mean, the movie's garbage.
Save your money for the people who are worth it, and buy the projects and the stuff by the people who are worth it.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't drop a dime on that shit. And I, even my time, it wasn't even that my time was wasted because I was doing something else while that was on, so I didn't even give a shit. Background noise, and that's what it is because this movie's garbage. But dude, thank you for being here. Your jokes are always awesome too. Hell yeah, man. We'll jump over to the doc. Dig Outlaw.
Yeah. No.
How you doing, buddy?
Let me wake up. No, I'm kidding.
What would you like to talk about?
I just want to say it was funner than heck to watch everybody laugh this evening. So much better than Friday. It's good. And I'm all about doing the positivity. And for me, working on the next to the last Blood Witch book. I finished the other one. So it's if you guys want to get on the ground level on my YouTube channel and hear medieval fantasy, dark, then you go ahead. Other than that, I'm just plugging along. And again, it was very nice to hear everyone laughing. And I thought for sure you were going to break Katrina, but it's good. It's good.
You can hear your face was probably turning purple at a certain point. You were laughing so hard.
This is awesome.
That's a good time. Speaking of, before we jump over to Tommy, check this out. Chris, he posted this, or it's in one of the groups here. Look at his Back to the Future manure car.
Holy shit news!
Wow, that's amazing. This is legit.
I don't think it's legit, but I think it's freaking hilarious.
Oh man,
it's not. It should be.
Right? It definitely should be. Oh my god, that's better than most of the Marvel Legends toys out there. There's less bullshit on this one.
Yeah, and you can see inside the box.
That's a great point. You can see inside the box. Holy hell! But Tommy. Speaking of legends, man, we got him right here. Let the good folks know where they can find you and what else you'd like to say, bro.
You can find me raiding your kitchen because the guinea pigs have stolen everything out of there, and then you're going to be wondering
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Yo!
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
That is my life story in a nutshell. Thank you for being here. Thanks to all the awesome people that have been in the chat and having a lot of fun and having some yucks along with us. And of course, guys, you know what I'm doing the battle bots, doing toy reviews, and of course the pigs are taking center stage as often as they can. Matter of fact, I do have a new video that will be going up shortly. I put it up. I'd set it scheduled for a while ago, so it should be going up around 11. One of the ones that Sean Estep had sent me, the Attorney and Palace Guard from the Origins line. I had a lot of fun reviewing that thing. I thought it was a really awesome figure, and I'm going to be getting the rest of those reviews up. I had a very busy day working on all these damn figures, even though Wondershare had another damn update for me the minute I started working on damn videos. Every single time, those some bitches. But it's always fun coming up here and hanging out with everybody and chatting with all these wonderful people on the panel and seeing all of you in the chat. So, guys, remember, never let anybody tell you what you can and can't say, what you should or should not think, because your compliance and your silence gives consent. And we'll catch you there next time. Damn toes off. Later.
Amen, brother. Amen. And, of course, all my stuff, you're aware I got a bunch of projects out there. Keep trying to show off different things when I do talk about my projects. You want the art books. The art books are over on the City of Venus campaign, which, again, you should be able to find no problem through the woods. Should be easy to find as well. Shout out to the Kraken. You got to type in Vinnieart.com. That's the best way, easiest way to find it. And it's exactly how I have it on all my stuff here. So check all that out. City of Venus 2, I am working on that. It's taking some time because there have been a few other things I've had to take care of as well. But again, I don't launch campaigns until we're ready to go because I don't want to just take people's money and have them waiting forever because I think it's a scummy thing to do. But again, that's my view on stuff. If you could do it another way, do it the other way because we know a lot of crowdfunding got hurt in a major way from a lot of horrible, shitty people. And yeah, we try to do our best here to make sure you guys, if you pay for a product, you're going to receive your product. So yeah. But again, in the meantime, there are awesome books you could buy from me. So check out all that stuff. They ship immediately. It's good stuff. And I might be looking to get the kid book out again in another format, but it's not. I don't think I'm going to do crowdfunding again on that one. So we're playing around. I'll see what I could do. But for those who missed the Ghostly Manor on Howling Hill, again, it's a children's book. So maybe we'll make that available again before you know it. But again, just looking into it again, what we could do here. But everyone, please, I hope you all have an awesome night. Be kind to one another. Kick ass while you create. Don't take shit from nobody. Yeah, and, do something good for somebody. If you didn't do anything good today, tomorrow, go help somebody. Make their day better because that's how we win everything. That's how you win life. There's a secret to all that. Don't listen to the Miles Morales movie. Go help people. Don't let them get killed. It's you're wrong. Anyway,
right.
Brutal Porning. What do you hashtag through the wood chipper?
That's right. Put the hard R on that better. That's right.
Wood chipper. Not wood chipper, but I mean, it'll.
What you call me?
Chipper. Thank you, Blue Samurai, for being here. Thank you, Brutal Morningwood, Tommy, Blind Ratton, Frankie Knows, Tree Rock Creations, Gap, and all your different incarnations. Again, sorry to hear and see that YouTube screwed you over too. But we got to keep fighting back at these scumbags. I do have a Rumble channel. Go check out the Rumble channel. I have a link over on Twitter. I think it's also in my description here. It should be, but if not, we'll correct that. Let me see. Going back up here. Godzillionaire, thank you for being here. Scotsman. Again, shame we didn't get to hang out. I forgot to send the link earlier, but I did send it. He's probably busy with family stuff. Because he's a good dad. He's a good person and a talented artist. Go support Scotsman. He's you guys all know who he is. He had cooking segments and everything over here. He's a colorist, an inker, an artist. He's working on his own projects. Beautiful stuff, man. Hero. we're looking forward to that one. He wrote it, drew it. Are you going to color it too? I think you might. But anyway, Soul Assassin, thank you for being here. Monotony, it's a shame you couldn't come on panel tonight, but we're going to hang out again. We should be hanging out tomorrow over on ETEP's channel. Samba Gogo, thank you for being here. There's more Gap up there. I know you had a couple of different ones. Again, Lion Rat, thank you so much for being here, buddy.
There's more Gap up there. Where's my ex-wife? I didn't see her.
Oh no.
Yeah, I said Gap.
Yeah.
I know we had some other people earlier on too. Zombie Box Reviews, thank you for being here. Toy Mafia, thank you for being here. Tina Bojan, Keely Chow, Carl. Carl's a good dude as well. He's on. He pops up a lot on ETEP's channel too. But yeah, everybody, thank you so much. All the people on the panel, everyone out there in the Cyberverse and all that stuff. So we hit 2 hours tonight. It's a shame Liam couldn't pop on, but I'm sure we'll probably be talking a little bit more about it at some point. That film, because he had a lot of things to say too. Again, we're approaching it from creators and writers aspects. So we've done that too with the Masters of the Universe stuff. Like we ripped that apart. You can still find that one over on my YouTube channel. Just type in Mo2 or Masters of the Universe review. But yeah. Anyway, everybody, thank you so much again. Samba Gogo, thank you as well. Everyone, have an awesome night, and we'll go out on some more Flare, because Flare is always fun. Or Naked Gun. You want a Naked Gun? Play one of the Naked Gun ones.
We need Naked Flare.
Well, I always love this one anyway. We'll play two of them. I'll give you two of them.
That's my policy.
Yes, well, when I see 5 weirdos dressed in togas stabbing a guy in the middle of the park in full view of 100 people, I shoot the bastards. That's my policy.
That was for the Punisher, and everyone have an awesome night.
All right, move on. Nothing to see here. Please disperse.